Hey, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to All Burgundy Gold Everything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 1340 AM and 96.9 FM. I'm your host tonight, Glen, along with my main man, George. George, what's going on?
We're getting to the end of the week. It's been a good week. And wasn't that some news last night that we're about to talk about?
It was some good news, man. We are a week away from Commanders camp, start of the NFL season. It is great times here. Once again, I'm Glenn. This is my main man, George. Wole will be joining us, but Mo is out for the evening. Man, let's talk about, George, what we see here, what we have on tap for tonight. If you have not heard and you've been underneath a rock someplace, Von Miller, right, one-time Super Bowl champion, as well as a future Hall of Famer, has signed or will be signing with the Washington Commanders on a one-year deal, and we're going to talk about it tonight. That's what we have on top. We're also going to talk about a little bit much more. We're going to talk about what 5 Commanders do the Washington Commanders need in order to have a successful season. Some have ranked this team as already a playoff team that is locked in, but what 5 players do the Washington Commanders need? But George, let's start with you. This news, big news is dropping that Von Miller will be signing with the Washington Commanders. What are your thoughts on Von Miller?
I can't help but think that it is such an unbelievable change that we've gone through. Can you imagine somebody in this century saying, I'm going to sign with the Washington, whatever they're called, because I want to win a championship? They'd have been laughed out of the league for even suggesting it. And now somebody like Von Miller, who is a Super Bowl MVP. Let's remember that. There ain't many of those guys around. That is a very exclusive club, Super Bowl MVP. There's probably about 40 of them, maybe 42 or 43, because we got some with multiples like Montana, Brady, and a few others.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a defensive Super Bowl MVP. There's
Not
only
many
2
of
or 3 of those.
Right.
And he's signing with this team. And the message for me is twofold. Not just the fact that this team really does mean business about winning a championship. You don't make that signing if you aren't going for the Super Bowl. That's number one. Number two, you don't make that signing if you're going to turn around and not sign Terry McLaurin to a new deal. I really feel like that is the evidence. That is the confirmation that whatever has been said, whatever has gone on, whatever contact, non-contact, whatever it is, you don't sign Von Miller. Who knows what's going on? Players talk. They all know what's going on. Agents know. Agents talk to each other. Players talk to each other. I guarantee you he's got some sense of what's going to happen with Terry McLaurin. And if Terry McLaurin was going to hold out and not play, you can bet your bottom dollar Von Miller would have waited, because why does he have to hurry up? He's got a gold jacket waiting for him in 5 or 6 years' time. And what he does is needed by everybody. So he can wait for the perfect situation. He thinks Washington is the perfect situation. And that's why he's signing here. So for me, this means that Super Bowl aspirations are real, that Terry McLaurin's going to get done, and that everybody better buckle up, because it's going to be it could be an amazing season. It could be the season that some of y'all out there who are going to watch this have been dreaming of all your lives. And it's going to be the season that you and I, Glenn, have been waiting for 30 plus years.
Yeah, the Von Miller situation is this. And if you don't, those guys who don't know, we've been underneath the rock. Von Miller, as George mentioned, is a Super Bowl Hall of Famer. Super Bowl MVP. But he also leads the league in sacks, right? 129 and a half career sacks. He is the sack leader. Last 3 years with the Buffalo Bills, he had over 14 sacks. He's coming to replace, he is an edge rusher, right? He's going to be an edge rusher that Washington desperately needs, a veteran edge rusher at that. And he gets to work with Dan Quinn. This is where this is important to me, right? We see what Dan Quinn has done with other veteran players who have came to Washington. We've seen what he did with Bobby Wagner, which is the veteran player who came to Washington. We see what he's getting ready to do with Marshall Lattimore, who's a veteran player who's come to Washington, right? We've seen what he did last year with Dante Fowler, whether you like him or not. He led the team in sacks last year. What he did with a veteran player who came to Washington, all right? It is going is an opportunity for a guy like Von Miller, who is 36 years old, right? He's 36 years old, and Mike, you made a good point, Mike. That's where I was going. I'm glad great minds think alike tonight, Mike. I guess when I'm not talking about Mike Tomlin, we can think alike. Here we go. But he's able to train the young ends like Bobby Wagner did with the linebacker. Right? McGee is supposed to have a great year this year because he spent time with Bobby Wagner. We saw how Luvu elevated his game because he spent time with Bobby Wagner. Now you got a guy who's, like you said, a gold jacket guy, right? Who guys a surefire first round Hall of Famer, right? Who, when he can go in that locker room, and that's my biggest thing when Washington signees, Dan Quinn then have somebody who can fit in this locker room. He's not coming to disrupt the locker room. He's not coming with the gold jacket already on, but he's coming to fit in the locker room, right? He come to fit there, and he does not break up or shake the apple cart in the Washington Commanders locker room, which is a good move by them. A 1-year deal means he's going to prove himself, right? Prove himself this year. You mentioned the Terry McLaurin situation. Look, we all talked about this. We talked about this a while on the show. Terry McLaurin is not worth the $37 million that he's looking for. Y'all can be at me, whatever the case may be. He is one of the top 10 receivers. I do give him that, right? So I think the deal will get done. People want to get done before training camp. It is a business. It may not get done before training camp. It may get done during this. It will get done before the season starts. I tell you that much. Unless something happens within the next 2 hours, it would definitely get done before the season. But right now, he wants top 5 money, and there's arguments that he's not top 5. He's 30 years old, right? Let's be honest. He's 30 years old. Super Washington Command, and see some receivers drop back at 30. Terry's excelling. He gets the opportunity to play with a franchise quarterback. But we'll get to that later. But Von Miller, I think you're right, George. The decision to come here to Washington, to be on this team, to elevate this team. This team probably was a playoff team without Von Miller, and if he stays healthy, this team can go very deep, right? And into very deep into the playoffs. I'm not. Von Miller is just another piece that this team needed, and if everybody stays healthy, adds to what the Washington Commanders can do this year. In the midst of training camp, again, great player, been in the league for 13 years, right? And so he's going to excel a defense, which we said last week, right? Well, 2 weeks ago, I wasn't on last week. That this team has to be able to be strong on defense, be in the top 5, top 10, right? And also have cause turnovers. One way you cause turnovers is by putting pressure on the quarterback. Von Miller can do that. And again, he's not an every down. Let's be honest. He's 36 years old. He's not going to be every down player. But they will have him in positions, in plays that will make him successful. And I think Dan Quinn can do that. Your thoughts on Dan Quinn and Von Miller working together?
Well, again, I think Von Miller will be a Dan Quinn type player. And I think what you said is absolutely right. He is a obvious passing down, third down player. He's not going to be in on third and short. He's not going to be in on potential running downs. I think the stat that I saw on social media today is that he got 6 sacks last year and he only played 33% of the snaps. And I would suspect that it's not going to be much higher than that this year, and it shouldn't be for his age. Could you put up Paul's comment? Because I love Paul's comment about the signing of Von Miller. Yeah, that is such a great comment, Paul, because I remember that. I mean, he really was one of the final pieces of the puzzle, Wilber Marshall. At that point, of course, Wilber Marshall was a lot younger than Von Miller, but Wilber Marshall was darn near an all-pro linebacker, and I think he might have been 2 times all-pro in his career. By the end of it, he might have gotten it. I don't even know. He might have been one of the Washington's all-pros that year. But Wilber Marshall, in that 91 season, I mean, he was just at the hub of so many turnovers and big plays. Mm-hmm. And I really feel like Von Miller, it isn't going to be that because Von Miller's not going to be all-pro or all-pro level. But I really do think Von Miller's one of the final pieces of this puzzle. Because what has everybody been talking about since free agency, since the draft for 3 months? Oh, they didn't sign a pass rusher. They didn't draft a pass rusher. What are they going to do about getting sacks? They let Dante Fowler go. This addresses part of it. This is a big part of it. No, he's not an every down defensive end. That's okay. Our biggest problem last year was stopping the run, and we've made the upgrades and we've made the moves to try and get better at that. But we still need, and that involved letting Dante Fowler go. Let's be honest. Getting Von Miller helps replace a lot of what Dante Fowler was going to do. And even at his age, teams are going to worry about him. Teams are going to have game plans for him. He may open things up for the other side, whoever's lined up on the other side, whether it's Javonte Jean Baptiste or the kid, the Dexter kid whose last name I always forget, or for Johnny Newton and some of the guys inside. Von Miller is going to make a huge difference there. I'm so excited that we signed him. Again, a Super Bowl MVP coming to Washington. It's amazing.
And, you talk about Wilbur Marshall, and first thing came to mind was playing as Wilbur Marshall, seeing Wilbur Marshall on Tecmo Bowl, because that guy was a beast on Tecmo Bowl back in the day, right? Wilbur Marshall was there, and people who don't know, Wilbur Marshall also played for the Chicago Bears prior to coming to Washington. Won a Super Bowl with the Chicago Bears, but then he got to Washington, won another Super Bowl with the Washington Redskins at the time, and then he was named. You mentioned All-Pro; he was All-Pro 3 times, right? Wilbur Marshall he set a tone on the defense. The defense? This Washington Commander defense already has energy, right? When you bring in Louvu and Bobby Wagner, now you add another veteran like Von Miller. It just intensifies what the defense is. I'll keep saying this until everything changes. You have a Daron Payne who's under contract year, right? We see what happened with last time he was under the contract year. He performed well. And so this defense is, and then you have a back half who already ranked in the top 10 or top 11 last year. Then with a healthy Marshawn Lattimore, with a Trey Amos, because let's get to there while we're talking about people. Quietly, everybody was talking about the Terry McLaurin contract, but Washington just signed Trey Amos, right? Trey Amos didn't have a contract until yesterday.
That's right.
So they
quietly had hardly any second rounders had a contract until last night.
Yes, last night. So you signed your second round corner, who's going to be a big, who was a steal in the draft. Let's be honest. Can we be honest?
Yes.
He was a steal at 61, 66? I can't remember the
61.
number. 61.
At 61.
He was still at 61. So finally signed him. So Washington's making moves to solidify this defense and this team. It goes back to Terry again. The Terry deal is going to get done, right? For how much is the question, right? I agree with some folks. I think Mike might have said it. Terry should have been quiet. Should have came out to the public. Shouldn't have came out to the media. Should have just been, in my opinion, I think Terry should have just been PC. Let the thing work out.
I am of two minds on that, because Terry has been putting the right foot forward, has been doing the right thing, has been the quintessential team player. He hadn't said boo to a goose or anything untoward one time his whole time here. And it's not like he ran anybody down. It's not like he got personal. It's not like any of this. He was merely expressing his frustration at the lack of contact. And in that sense, I can't, as somebody that used to work in a newspaper, so even though I wasn't a big time beat writer or anything like that, as somebody that was kind of a journalist for a while, I can't get mad at somebody who's honest with the media, because so few athletes are honest with the media. And I hate it that when athletes are honest with the media, we run them down and say, how dare you tell the truth? I mean, so I understand where Michael Underwood and other people are coming from on that. And they make a good case that this kind of thing, you don't want to air your dirty laundry. But this wasn't Trey Hendrickson showing up to camp in a suit, running the whole organization down and saying it was terrible to try to force himself out of Cincinnati or get the contract. I think where Terry was coming from is that he wants to be here. He wants this deal done. The gap needs to be bridged between both sides. And look, if they haven't really talked to him for a month or haven't talked to his agent for a month, I get being frustrated because the clock's ticking. Camp is what, Monday?
Monday.
What?
Yeah, it's Monday.
And granted, what's weird is the last time we had this situation when there were teams lining up trying to get his services because they thought we might trade him. There was all kinds of talk about 2 first-rounders for Terry McLaurin before he signed that contract. There really wasn't this hoo-ha on all this, and it got done right before camp. So I do wonder why it's different this time. But I can't run Terry McLaurin down because I think he couched his comments the right way, and he was being honest with us. And we want athletes to be honest with us, at least most of the time. So I can't be too critical in that regard. And it wasn't. We've seen this situation. This wasn't T.O. doing sit-ups in the parking lot, being a pain in the ass, anything like that.
Yeah, it wasn't Le'Veon Bell, anything like that neither. So, what he did talk, and again, we're talking about Terry, but also still Von Miller. Did the last regime, when they gave Terry the extension, do him a disservice when they should have just gave him a new contract?
I don't think so, because until this year, I think we all thought that Terry was fairly compensated, were we not? Because it was a 4-year, $82 million deal. That was
68 million
or $84 million. Excuse me, it was a 4-year, $84 million deal.
Yeah, he signed a 3-year.
I can't even remember the guarantee.
No, he signed a 3-year, $68 million extension in 2022, and I can't remember what the guarantee was, which I think that brought it to 80 something.
Okay, so that's what it was. But I mean, until last year, we all thought he was fairly compensated. Nobody was complaining about anything. And I think we felt at the time before last year, okay, we're going to be going in next year. It's going to be 1 year to go. We're going to want a new deal done. But I think we thought it would be pretty easy to do. Maybe that's where all this is coming from, is that it hasn't been easy. And to be fair, he's just had 13 touchdowns in a season, best season of his career. He showed everybody, including people that doubted him, and we got to bring that up because Wole was strongest on this, and he was proven right that he really is a top 10 receiver in this league. He just needed a quarterback to throw him to be able to bring that out, and he had huge, in some cases, iconic franchise plays that are going to be replayed for the next 50 years for fans to remember. So I think maybe that's where it's coming from. For me, I'll just say what I've been saying all along. 3 years, $100 million, 70 guaranteed. That's the deal I'd be offering him. I'd like to think he'd take it. That's not top 5 money, but that is top 10 money.
So back to your point now, because we talked about Von Miller coming to the Washington Commanders, right?
Yeah, sorry about that.
So no, you're fine, because it ties into Terry. Because when you open it up, when we open it up, is when you sign a Von Miller, all right, and when you sign a Trey Amos, which you already is your rookie, and you give your rookie a good deal, right? Mm-hmm. And you give Von Miller some money, and you got Terry McLaurin sitting out there like, where's mine? So the Von Miller deal makes Terry think, where's mine, right? They're stacking up on defense. All right, the defense today was the defensive. Let's say today and yesterday was the defensive contract day, is what it is. They still need to get in. They still need to get another pass rusher. But those two deals, Washington's giving out money, which they had room, they had space, right? They had room, they had space, and so now you're giving out that money and you got agents looking. And I don't know Terry's agent like that, but he could. Don't stir the pot. Don't poke the bears. Because let's be honest, Terry's still under contract. Right? He's still under contract. All right. So he's under contract. He's due $25 million this year. And can we be honest? And I know we're honest on the show, right? Terry's a good receiver. Right? 1 year with Jaden. He's performed other years, right? But the money he's asking for, he's not that guy.
He's not that guy, but
he's not Justin Jefferson.
No, he's not.
He's not Jamar Chase.
And he's not.
He's not CeeDee Lamb. And he's not
CeeDee Lamb. But we have to remember this. He has been a good soldier. He has been part of resetting this culture here. You heard some of them speeches he made before the games. Look, we all know the big contracts that are coming and the people that are coming down the line, and that's fine. But that's not today. And while you're right, there is a number, there is a value. I've said what my value is. Other people have had their views on it. That's great. He has meant so much to this franchise, and he has persevered. That's the other thing about what happened 4 years ago. If he had said, I want to be dealt 4 years ago, not one Washington fan would have blamed him at all. That has said, this organization is trash. These quarterbacks we're giving you are trash. Good. Get out of here and go blossom. That's what nearly everybody would have said. And yet he didn't do that.
He didn't.
And he has performed. He's at least performed to that contract. And last year, he significantly outperformed it. So, again, if we give him, let's say we caved in and gave him $37 million. That's A, not going to kill this team long term. And B, it's going to tell everybody else in that locker room that this culture that they've started to reset and change and completely turn around after 25 years or 30 years of utter misery and bilge and BS, that we're committed to that. You can't send the message that you sign Von Miller and you sign Trey Amos. You go the extra mile to get him because now all of a sudden second-round picks are getting fully guaranteed deals. Thanks, Houston. You can't go the extra mile in that regard and not do it for somebody that soldiered through some awful times and had flotsam and jetsam and who this and who that and just a guy throwing him to football and still produced. So that's kind of my view on it. So, yeah, I don't want to pay him Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown money. But of all the people that are out there that I wouldn't mind overpaying, he's up. He might be number one at this point.
Yeah.
And I get what people are saying in the chat, and I get why they're saying it. But I'm telling you, the situation they find themselves in and the opportunity they have, we assume that we're going to have it every year because of Jaden Daniels, and you might be right. But this kind of a moment does not come around too often. And you can't sabotage. You can't do self-sabotage here. And if we let this go on and let this fester, it will undermine everything we're trying to do this year. And if we have to pay him $2 or $3 or even $4 million more a year than we want to for 3 or 4 years to stop that, then let's do it and let's get on to the business of trying to beat these damn Eagles and win this division and go to the Super Bowl.
I agree with you on that, George. I agree with you on that, but we all know that it is a business. It's a business, right? And they look at numbers, they're working things. And with the name, with Von Miller and with the Trey Amos and with some of the other signings that may come, you have players who are looking at this. You said it. You have players looking at Terry, right? I think about players like Larry Tunsil, who's looking at Larry. Who's Larry Tunsil, who's looking at how they deal with Terry McLaurin, right? Players have looked how they dealt with Daron Payne, maybe looking at how they deal with Terry, right? That's another big name who money comes up. Mm-hmm. You may not want Terry to be the mortar for this team, right? All right. Well, he may not be the mortar for this team, but at the end of the day, Terry might be the mortar. This organization, this team, we all love Adam. Everybody loves Adam Peters, right? Mm-hmm. Even Von Miller's signing, they love Adam Peters, except for when it gets to the Terry McLaurin conversation. Everybody loves.
That's the counter argument that I think is fair. That's the counter argument that I can accept.
Everybody loves him. Hey, Adam. Hey, he's our guy. We love him. We like him. And when it gets to Terry, everybody's scratching their head. If you're gonna let the genius cook, you let him cook. You let him work. You let him work. If you like the GM, you like the GM. Regardless of we accept it or not, AP may know what he's doing. Right? His job is what's best for the organization. And I know Terry's been loyal to this organization. Terry has done what he needed to do for his organization. And I'm not saying Terry's not going to get paid. I'm not saying Terry does not deserve to get paid. I'm just saying the number that Terry wants, this organization is not willing for him to pay. So here goes to the question that Paul brings up. All right, because we're talking about, not only are we talking about Von Miller tonight for those who just came in, but we're talking about the top 5 players that Washington needs to be successful. All right, we're talking about the top 5 players that this Washington organization needs in order to go to the next level. And why not start with Terry? We already know Jaden Daniels. That's a given for everybody else. Right? People would say Terry McLaurin is one of those top 5 that Washington needs in order to get to the Super Bowl. And so Paul brings the question up. 2 questions Paul brought up. Paul said, let me get here real quick. Paul said this. I want your thoughts, George. Paul said, I would trade him before I overpay him. And if you trade him, right, what could you get for Terry McLaurin if you trade him? And I want to add one more question to that, George. How will this organization be looked at if Adam Peters, because I remember I started this conversation a few minutes ago, my segment, with Adam Peters being a great GM and everybody loving him. Even today, signing Von Miller, everybody's giving a pat on his back. Would he still be loved and liked if he trade Terry McLaurin?
I will take the second part first, which is just the question you just asked about Adam Peters. If Adam Peters trades Terry McLaurin, he is putting the clock on himself. He goes from a situation where he's got total 100% support of the fan base and the players in the locker room and the coaching staff to, brother, you better win a championship soon or you will be out on your ear. Because if you're going to trade Terry McLaurin, a lot of the political capital, and this is a political town that we're talking about, so we have to talk about political capital and goodwill. You only have so much of it, and you can spend it real quick. If you trade Terry McLaurin, you spend all that, you put the clock on yourself, you put the heat on yourself, and you've got to produce the results quickly. That's the first thing. What do you get for Terry McLaurin? My presumption is that you are trading him to a team that is going to give him an extension. You're not trading him just for him to go through the same song and dance with somebody else. Oh, God, I can't even believe I'm about to say this. One of the teams you could trade him to is the Ravens because they need a receiver bad. God help me. And because it's the Ravens, there has to be a tax. So for me, it's a second-round pick, at least. Because, again, he is 30. And I understand where people are coming from about not wanting to pay him because he's 30. But in a trade situation, that matters. For instance, you look at what Garrett Wilson got. Garrett Wilson is what, 25, 26? Mm-hmm. So that's why he got that money, that deal. That's the kind of thing. The age factor does matter. But okay, Michael Underwood. Michael Underwood, those 2 edges he got rid of, I'm responding to his comment because I looked over in the chat. Those 2 edges he got rid of ain't fit to carry Terry McLaurin's shoes. They ain't fit to clean his shoelaces or tie them. Nobody gives a flying rat's rear end that them 2 edges are gone. And nobody's going to give a flying rat's rear end that Daron Payne's gone at the end of the year because he's going to be. This is somebody different. This is a guy that came here as a 3rd-round pick, and despite that misfit crew of quarterbacks we've had, clearly established himself by the end of his rookie contract. He's one of the better receivers of this league. See, this is the only thing that's kind of getting on my nerves about this. It's not as if this guy hasn't proven himself. When the last contract came up and there was some thought that he might go, teams were lining up if they thought Washington couldn't get a deal done and they were going to trade him. Teams were lining up. Terry McLaurin is an integral part of this locker room. So if you're going to trade him, and again, you got to trade him to a team that really needs a wide receiver bad. So you're talking about Ravens, Chiefs, who else? Buffalo, that kind of thing. That's what you're talking about. And I think a 2nd-round pick, because I'm assuming, maybe incorrectly, but I'm assuming that a contract extension gets done.
Okay.
And he's still one hell of a player to me. So yeah, that's the value in my opinion.
He's a third-round pick. I give you that. Third-round pick from the Washington Commanders. He has been through thick and thin with this organization and with this team, right? He was there for the highs. He's been there for the lows. And now he's back here for the highs. But with this regime that's in front office right now, and this is, can we be honest, this is one of the first major contracts they have to do. This is one of the first ones they have to do. They got rid of my man, Josh Allen. Not Josh Allen. Not Josh Allen. Daron's Payne's buddy. I forgot his name.
John Allen.
John Allen. They got rid of John Allen, right? I said Josh. That's the guy in Buffalo, right? They got rid of John Allen.
Yeah, you're only one letter off. It's all right.
Yeah, they got rid of John. They got rid of Jonathan Allen. And so now they're dealing contract. I don't think they're going to trade Terry. I think they're going to get a deal done. But there's always a possibility, right? I'm sure teams might be calling for Terry. We don't know. This organization has been tight-lipped, and I like this organization now because they've been tight-lipped with things. In the past, we would know everything. The organization have not underneath Ron Rivera. But if we go to the track record of Adam Peters and everything else, we talked about it, George. I said we got to be on the same line. That they don't mind getting rid of people that Ron Rivera brought in. They don't mind getting rid of those guys that under that last regime, right? So again,
that's true.
So they got rid of a second-round pick. They got rid of the first-round pick, number 2 pick, right?
Yeah.
So again, they're willing to shake the apple cart if Paul, if they give me Travion Henderson, I give it to Terry McLaurin.
Don't start that talk. Oh gosh.
Hey Paul. He was just here last weekend doing a charity event. Look. But anyway, but again, Terry to me would have to get a first round or second round pick if you want to trade for him, right? I wouldn't give it away for free. I'm getting multiple picks coming in for Terry McLaurin to answer the question if they could get rid of him, multiple pick. So that's one of the things that I would do. But again, I think the deal, we talked about the deal getting done. the deal is definitely, I think, in our opinion, is going to get done. I don't know if it gets done before Monday, right? I don't think it gets done before training camp. I think it gets done. We will hope that it would get done in training camp. I don't want that to be the first question that Dan Quinn answers on Monday morning.
You know it is. If it's not done, that's all anybody's going to talk about.
If it's not done, it takes away from training camp, right? It takes away from everything else in training camp, right? So that's the first question that everybody's going to ask, like, what's up with Terry McLaurin? So if you don't want to bring that attention to the organization and you want to, because that'd be the question every day, right? Every day at training camp until he gets signed is what up with Terry McLaurin. So you want that to be done so it doesn't bring a distraction. All right, George. So what you said, we talked about Von Miller. So now let's get this. Who are your top 5 players that the Washington Commanders definitely have to have in order to make this run that we're talking about? And guys in the chat, y'all can list this. Y'all can list as well, right? Type in the chat. Yeah. Who are your top 5 players that Washington has to have in order to make this run?
Well, we got to go beyond, because I'm assuming that the big names are going to show up and do right. JD5, Terry, those guys. I'm assuming. I'm talking the 5 guys I'm going to talk about are guys that we are not sure about, and that they need to produce or improve or whatever. Number 5, and I struggle with this because I almost could put the whole unit there, but I'm going to say that I'm going to represent one unit of the team by saying number 5 is Zane Gonzalez, the kicker. Special teams as a whole is a big deal, and I don't want to put it all on Jalen Lane, but I'm expecting big things of Jalen Lane in the return game. Zane Gonzalez is a kicker because we've not had stability at that position, and no matter how good this team is, there are going to be games that are going to come down to whether we can make field goals or not. So they didn't, they had the issues they had at the end of the year after Seibert was hot for the, middle part of the season. Okay, they go and get Zane Gonzalez, been in this league. They didn't go to the draft, which I would have liked to have seen them do. We need a good season by the special teams, and so I'm going to represent that with Zane Gonzalez in specific. We know Terry. We know we're good at punter. We know we're good there. but we need good return. We need a good return game, and we need a kicker that's gonna be reliable. So Zane Gonzalez, number 5. Number 4. This is so tough. This is so tough. And now I'm blanking on his name. Dang it. Brandon Coleman. Thank you. Brandon Coleman, number 4. Didn't do too bad at left tackle. I know a lot of people were tough on him. He had some tough moments. 3rd round left tackle did pretty well. Now he's going to be moved. He's either going to play the other tackle spot or the guard. The other guard spot, I mean, the guards thing is going to be crucial because no Sam Cosmi until November, December, maybe not even this year, which is my preference. Brandon Coleman, got to be huge for this offensive line that has to take a step forward. They have to get better. They have to run block better, especially. They got to do a little bit of a better job of pass blocking. The offensive line struggled down the stretch of the season. There was no question about this. They've got to play better. So Brandon Coleman for me is number 4. Number 3 is Jordan McGee. I'm a big fan. I think this show's a big fan. We all know this guy's got some talent. If you saw his tape, if you saw him at Temple, Temple's been turning out a lot of good defense players lately, and I think he's got the capability of beating another. We can't just have 2 good linebackers. It just can't be Bobby Wagner, who's in his final year of his career, and Frankie Louvu. We need another linebacker to play well. It's got to, it absolutely has to be Jordan McGee. He's number 3. Number 2 is Deebo Samuel. Made the trade, paying him paying him this. He's getting $18 million this year. We needed a number 2 receiver bad. We let De'Ami Brown go, even though De'Ami Brown had a huge playoffs. Deebo's got to catch those short passes and turn them into big gainers. That's what we're looking for. Hopefully, he's not going to carry the ball much because I think that's contributed to his injuries a lot, and we need him on the field. Deebo Samuel, if presuming we get Terry and he's healthy, Deebo Samuel could unlock an even greater level for Terry McLaurin because of the kind of player he is and kind of attention he'll draw. Number 1 is Marshawn Lattimore, without a shadow of a doubt. That was a big move last year. Granted, Adam Peters at the time said it was as much about this season as it was last season. He struggled with the injuries. He struggled against the Eagles. We all know what happened. If this team's going to the Super Bowl, Marshawn Lattimore is going to be an excellent player for us this year. Because to me, those 2 things have to be. He's got to be the player that he once was before last season and before all these damn injuries he had. And he's got to maintain control of himself and not get caught up in all the bull ski with the wide receivers. And I'm specifically thinking about those 2 Philadelphia games. He has got to get one over on whichever, whether it's Devontae Smith or AJ Brown. He's got to get one over on one of them after what happened last year. He absolutely must, because likely when we get to those damn games in December, a lot's going to be on the line when we play in that team. So those are my 5, and Marshawn Lattimore is at the top of that list.
All right. I got you, George. Just want to make Zane Gonzalez is no longer the Washington Commanders. Matt Gay, he was released, and Matt Gay.
Oh, that's right. Oh, God. Yeah. Well, number 5 is the whole special teams. I apologize. God.
No, you're good.
That's terrible, but it's the whole special. The point stands. It's the entire special teams. It can be Matt. You're right. It's Matt Gay, right? Is that who it is?
Yeah, Matt Gay from Indianapolis.
Yeah, I Zane Gonzalez. Boy, I tell you. Sorry about that.
Look, I charge it to your head, not your heart, because we have gone through a lot of kickers in the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Washington has gone through a lot of kickers. It's been kicker by committee, right? Kicker by committee. So no biggie. But I think you said something that was key there, and I want to start with the one that you started with. I'm not going in particular order, but Deebo Samuel, to me, is one of the 5 that needs to have a great season in order for this team to move forward, right? Deebo, and the way I looked at this, not just big names, but people who need to have a breakout year, Washington needs to constantly be on the field and stay healthy. Deebo Samuel, for me, is one. They need Deebo Samuel on the field. They need that explosiveness. They need the guy. Washington didn't have that many. They had long balls, but I mean a guy that had explosive plays. They can catch the ball at any moment, can be gone, right? Didn't have too many of those last year. So Deebo Samuel's there. Take a guy everybody may not be on right now that Washington does need to have a great year. They did it last year without him. They need Brian Robinson Jr. to have a great year. And when I say you need Brian Robinson Jr. to have a great year is that you don't want JD5 to be your leading rusher again. So I'm gonna say running back committee, right? I'm gonna say running back. They need a running back to solidify themselves as the top runner for this Washington Commanders team in order for them to move forward, right? I don't care what running back it is. It could be Eckler, it could be whoever, it could be Chris Rodriguez. They need a running back to step up and be the lead rusher on this team and not JD5, right? So the running back team, and I know, look, Lynn is doing a great job with those guys, knocking them, but they need to move up, right? They need to go. Another player that you need Bobby Wagner to be around. Bobby has to be there. Bobby Wagner has to be one. He's one of the top 5. That linebacker crew, let's say Louvu as well, they have to be there in order to keep the energy going on the defense and lead that veteran leadership that's needed. I'm throwing a name out there that we talked about a little bit earlier on the show. We talked about, but I need Daron Payne to be Daron Payne, right?
Mm.
This defense cannot be the last run defense. This defense cannot give up 4.5 yards of rush, right? This defense can't do that. So you need a D lineman, whether it's Daron Payne, Johnny Newton, whoever it is, to step up and be that guy. Hopefully it's Daron Payne. Earn his money this year. Earn your money, big guy. All right. They need him to step. They need a D lineman to step up. And then they need 2 guys on the offense. I know I gave more than 5. If Conley's going to start, they need Conley to not have rookie moments. And he's going to have a couple. He's going to have a couple, but not in big situations. And they need Larry Tunsil to be Larry Tunsil because you traded a lot for him. You brought him to Washington, big name, big deal. Hey, he's playing for a contract as well. But you need JD5 to be standing upright. And if you're a left tackle, play like the left tackle. If you're the guy, be the guy.
And he's the guy as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I know, George, I know he's the guy, but I also got to be honest, right? I want to say this and not get you know, you're in those relationships where your parents used to beat you and your dad raised their hand or you flinch. This organization does not do well when they bring big names in.
In the past, that's true, but that's also the previous regime.
What I'm saying, in the past, so I might have a little bit of PTSD, a little bit of whatever case you want to call it. When this team has brought big names in, right? They haven't panned out to what they have been in a while. Now, when names leave Washington, they pan out. But they brought some big, and I can run through the big names. We can go through Donovan McNabb, Alex Smith. We can go through, Deion Sanders, the Bruce Smiths of the world, the Albert Haynesworths, right? Big names that have not done well when they came to this new organization, new day, new time. Forgive me for having flashbacks. All right?
No, I understand that, but again, this regime is way better set up to bring those names in. And the other thing, too, is in those days, most of the big names were coming in here for a payday and they didn't give stuff one way or the other. Whether this team won, lost, whatever. Few did, but most of them didn't. That's not the way it is here. So I like your list. I definitely like your list. Boy, I tell you, Daron Payne, there's another one. I mean, it's not like he's fighting for his career because he's definitely going to be playing somewhere next year and probably playing a lot. But if he wants to make big money again, this is a big season for him because he might just become a rotational piece type guy if he doesn't produce this year. And you cannot have that tape from the NFC title game for him. That is the stuff of nightmares, what happened there. And he cannot have that again.
George, we can all rise because El Capitan, the one, our tribal chief, has entered the building.
Go ahead.
What's up, man? Our
What's
try
going
with Chief.
on?
Our try put
Nah,
the ones
man.
up. Our try with Chief is in the
No,
building.
man. Y'all know we equals out this mug.
No,
Y'all
I'm
know what time it is, man. Yeah, we equals out this. This ain't no Roman Reigns. We equals out here. Like, let that be known. We equals out here.
Yeah,
Pleasure
man.
be on, fellas. My bad.
What's
I had
up?
to get some cardio, so I had to because I've been slipping, so I had to get some cardio.
Hey, man. Hey, since you coming on, we can catch you caught up. We talked about Von Miller, the impact of Von Miller on his organization. I'll get your thoughts on that. Okay. And we talked about how Von Miller's contract and the signing of Trey Amos, may affect Terry McLaurin's deal just a little bit. So give us your thoughts on those. And if you got time, give us your top 5 players that need to be on this, that need to have a great season.
So I don't know. I mean, rookie deal's a rookie deal. Like, that's pretty much allocated. Jaden Daniels' money kind of allows them to do whatever because he's still in his rookie deal. So they still got guys. They got a lot of guys on 1-year deals. So they have the money's out there for them to pay whoever if they choose to pay whoever. But signing Von Miller to me was huge. We were complaining about this team not having a pass rusher. He hasn't been starting in his last couple of seasons in the NFL. But, if you ask me if he's better than Fowler, yeah, he's better than Fowler. So it's an upgrade. So I think that's the thing you got to look at it. It's at the end of the day, we're talking about a Hall of Fame edge rusher, and not a mild Hall of Famer, an impact playing Hall of Famer. So if individuals like Daron, Payne, people to gas up Kinlaw, these guys can produce and play at a high level, it's going to make life easy for Von Miller on third downs to just go rush the quarterback. So I just feel like this is a win-win situation because as an edge rusher, what people would forget, like Von Miller, what Von Miller has forgotten, folks would be loving to have what he forgot in life. You know what I mean? In terms of the edge rusher. So he has so much in the bag. You know what I mean? Like, I just think it's going to be amazing, even for guys like Baptiste, even for Armstrong, just to learn from a Von Miller, man. Just to know, he may not be able to do certain things anymore at this age, but he's got so much in the bag. He's gone against the best left tackles. He knows trends. He knows things that others don't know. And he's a professional pass rusher, and this team needs that. So I'm happy of the signing. I think it's one of those win-win situations for me because, again, he hasn't been the same Von Miller of yesteryear, but no one thought Fowler was going to have a big year, and he did. A double-digit sack year, and he did. So it's almost like that. Like, if he doesn't give you 10+ sacks, it's not like a disappointment. He's a rotational guy right now. But if he has a good 11-sack year, then we winning, right? So I love it.
We definitely winning there. Your top 5. What 5 players of Washington definitely need to have a good year in order to make it to the next level? Because, again, with the Von Miller signing, now people are talking Super Bowl. Von Miller said, "Look, I come here to win the Super Bowl."
Yeah, you don't get a Von Miller. Real talk, you don't get a Von Miller if you're not thinking that way, to be real with you. Like, you can, if you're thinking about just progression, you don't get a vet like Von Miller. You know what I mean? You just don't. Like, you can go for other players, for real. He's a Super Bowl champion. Like, so I'm with that. Like, that's what the mindset is. I love having guys who won it all in the building. Like, I think that's very important. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, JD5 is number 1. Terry McLaurin's number 2. Bobby Wagner's number 3. For this team to play, this is easy. Lattimore, number 4. He has to play well because he's going to be out there. And Tunsil, number 5. These guys have to play well for this team to be successful. If Tunsil doesn't play well, the team doesn't do anything. So those are my. And truth be told, you can put Tunsil because it's essential. You can put Tunsil at 3, to be real with you, because the left tackle is very important.
All right, so let's look at some of the guys in the chat. Man. I'm going to go with Taj first, man. Taj says this. Taj says you need JD5.
Tunsil, okay, I like that.
You need Tunsil. You need Terry. You need Martin. Quan Martin. You need Martin?
I think Quan's cool. I think that just because I think this the position of need. Well, who do I have? I had Bobby. I can see that. No, I can see that. But I think Bobby, a middle linebacker, is a quarterback. So that's right. That's right.
And you need Lattimore. I think everybody says Lattimore.
You need a cornerback. In the NFL, there's 3 positions that are very important. There's quarterback, there's left tackle. Well, there's 4: quarterback, left tackle, edge rusher, and corner. Yeah, and corner.
All right, my man. Hey, my man Mike said this. Mike said you need Jaden, you need Vaughn. He put through Vaughn in there, which I take that because you need an edge rusher.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I'm not knocking that. You need an edge rusher. You got Louisville, Lattimore, and Tunzels. My bad.
Mm-hmm. See, I stole his list. Deluxe said I stole his list.
Yeah, Deluxe said you stole his list. Deluxe said you stole his list. Let's go, my man Paul. Paul said let's go to Paul's list because everybody was like, hold on, man. Paul, y'all find Paul's list.
Oh yeah. Hey, Paul. Mike, appreciate you too, Mike. My bad. I saw your comment, Mike. I appreciate you, buddy.
Paul said you need Lattimore, JCM, field goal kicker, whoever the kicker is. Or like I said, we know it's Matt Gay. Matt Gay's a kicker.
Kicker, I like that.
Right? Yeah, Conley and Noah Brown.
You gotta. I mean, I like Conley. You got an off ball. I ain't gonna lie, Paul. You my guy. You know I got much love for you. This is an off the ball list. I ain't gonna hold you.
I'm not mad at the list either.
I like where Paul's coming from because it's like
Noah Brown.
I'm already assuming that JD5, Terry, and the big names are going to turn out to do well.
I respect that, Paul. You might.
And that's so Paul and I kind of took a similar tack on that. I had Brandon Coleman instead of Connerly, but that's because that's the thing. I'm assuming Laramie Tunzel's going to be what he's been, and that kind of thing. So I like Paul's tack on that.
You see,
Noah Brown's interesting too. That's an interesting one too.
Hey, Glenn, you see Deluxe's list? He just put it up.
All right, yeah. Deluxe's list here: Jaden, Terry, Wagner, Tunzel, and Louvu. That's not.
I mean, to me, those are all givens. I expect them to produce.
Oh, so you say unknown, so like guys that. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, George went unknown.
Are guys we're not sure about.
Yeah, George went unknown. I did a mix. Everybody's 5 is different because it doesn't matter because you need that supporting cast, right? You know, you need a guy that comes off. You need a third down. You need a supporting cast. Some guys going to give you what they give you, right? Todd said, Daron.
Todd, you a fool, bro.
Yo,
hey, Todd, hey, Todd, I'm letting you know, man. I got my eye on you, boy. You and Paul. So I want to let y'all know. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Hey,
I got my eye on both of y'all. I don't like that. I see what y'all doing with Terry, so I got my eye on y'all.
Look, we talk about.
I was gonna say you should go back to one of the other chatters were saying earlier. I was trying to.
It goes to my question.
Wole or close to it.
It goes to Paul's point. It goes to what Paul's list is.
I got y'all, man.
If a Noah Brown, is a Debo Samuel, and all those guys, can you win by a wide receiver by committee?
No, I'm no Noah Brown. We gassing about hell.
I know. I'm not talking about Noah. What I'm saying is, if you don't bring anybody else in, and you got to go with what you have on the team, and Terry say, you know what, screw y'all, I'm not coming in.
Nah,
right?
Man.
Can you win by receiver by committee?
Man, you can't because Michael Gallup is coming like a retired dude coming back. Like we all wishing for these dudes to
you can win 9, 10, or 11 games. Look, you can't win the championship.
That too. But also I'm gonna say this: like I always, for any young quarterback, like it's better to have a dog out there to help make life easier. That's what it is, man. Like not everybody as a young dude. When you a vet, then it's different. When you a vet, then you kind of can play with, all right, I can make my other players better. When you're a young dude, you need all the help you can get. You can need left tackle, wide receivers, talent. It's the same. Look at any quarterback growing, like any quarterback that we call all-time greats. They've had help in the beginning.
Hey, but can we be honest though? And we all watch the games.
Yeah.
Terry didn't get the ball like that until Noah Brown went down.
I mean, but he got because Joey, as a youngster, let me say it. As a youngster, you gotta learn. Like Jaden doesn't force, like Jaden had to throw people, like he understood how to throw people open. You know what I'm saying? And Noah is a bigger target, so it's easier for him to say he's tall. I can throw it up here, he can get it. It's the quarterback position is different. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta get used to saying like guys aren't gonna be wide open all the time. You're gonna have to throw people open in the NFL game. And Jaden, you saw like it's a learning process. And dude, you can look at the tape, and I said this watching tapes of games or watching highlights. Terry was open. Jaden just didn't throw the ball. He was open. So I'm just telling y'all, like, then eventually he got comfortable of looking at what NFL open is. We saw it Monday night, and from that Monday night game, it was rolling. So he understood. So it's not like, and then we saw how dynamic the offense was when he started doing that. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, here we go. I'm gonna give a Tim's list real quick. and then we got some guys trolling. Jaden, B-Rob, beside us, Lattimore, and tons of. I'm not mad.
I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
I like that. Great
I like
one
that.
because
that's a good one.
told you,
Giannis got hurt. We got nothing behind him at center.
Giannis is essential. He's essential. I like that.
He's essential.
Yeah,
and I told you, a running back has to be on the list. A running back has to be top 5. No, Jaden Daniels can't be the leading rusher on this team this year. He can't be.
I agree. I will say this too. Like,
right.
A good point though. Like, an edge rusher is essential because if this team don't get a pass rush, that's a problem. Daron Payne may be like essential too. Like, he's having a big year. If you want his defense to look good, I actually would say.
No, Glenn was making that point earlier, right before you came on.
Yeah,
that
Daron Payne has
one of his 5.
Yeah. I kind of like that. Daron Payne definitely got to be. He got to. Well, he got. You know what? Because he get paid, he got played to the money. So he got played to the money.
Paul clarified. He said, "I said Noah Brown because he gives a different body type wide receiver, which is correct. He gives that big wide receiver body.
Be healthy, bro. Just tell Noah Brown be healthy. That's all you gotta look at Noah Brown. That's how I look at Noah Brown. Be healthy.
Todd says this about what we talked about committee. No, you can't win with receiver by committee, but I do think Terry should get a Bradley Beal deal, whatever you want.
A Bradley Beal? Oh, what you mean Bradley Beal deal? What you mean? What you mean Bradley Beal?
He's saying that you shouldn't give. Taj is saying you shouldn't give Terry like 36 or 37 million a year.
I mean, just
basically, he doesn't want Washington to go crazy and overpay Terry McLaurin like Washington went crazy and gave Bradley Beal the no trade clause, the super max, and all that.
Let me say it this way: give Terry market value, and and everybody knows where the market value is compared to his contemporaries. That's all you gotta look at it. Mm-hmm. All this other stuff that people want to try to use, whatever. There's market value, fair price. You have an idea what that is. Give him that. I'm not saying give him 40. I'm not saying give him more than Jefferson. I'm not saying any of that, but give him market value. So you see when you look at, say, a DK Metcalf, those individuals go in his market value. Whatever that market value is, that's fair. That's it. That's fair compensation. All the other stuff that people trying to lowball them, whatever. Like, if you look at, if somebody says DK gets paid this or this individual's getting paid this, just market value. If you feel like Terry had a better year than that individual last year, because we're going off of last year, that's how it worked. Yeah, it's the mark from last year. If you feel like Terry had a better year than those individuals when he actually had a quarterback, then that's fair. That's the market value. But if you're trying to
let's understand something. This is not a quarterback where people put themselves into a corner and say, oh, we have to pay this quarterback like the idiot 49ers did with Brock Purdy when they haven't done nothing. Really. They haven't proven much.
Oh,
Terry McLaurin's proven it many times.
They did the same thing with Trey Lance, though. And he hadn't done anything. Trey Lance got a big deal.
He had a big deal. He was on rookie deal. So it's on his only rookie deal. Okay. He never had a big deal. Trey was always on his rookie deal. And once Winston took his job, it was over. Like, that was it. But Trey never got a rookie deal. He never got a second contract. Never got a second contract.
His Taj brought a comment up early, and I want your opinion about it. George, you talked about it a little bit earlier. Wole, I want to get your opinion on it. This
all right. Well, what's the comment?
And the comment is this: what do you think about Terry having his moment or his diva moment during the Art Monk retirement day?
I mean, look, man, it's business, man. Like, you gotta show it's a business. You gotta try to. It's all negotiations, all part of the negotiation ploy. Like someone said this, and I totally agree. Like, we're in a situation we're not used to this, man. Like, this happens in all of the NFL. Like, no one gets mad when Jamar Chase is doing certain things or somebody else is doing. No one gets mad. You know what I'm saying? No one says Jamar Chase, blah blah. Like, this happens a lot. Sorry to tell you, this happens a lot. It's often. This is normal practice. Like, people get surprised because it's Terry because he barely talks. That's key with it being. Like, if y'all want to, like, he's such the standard. Like, everyone says, like, Terry never talks. Terry never does this. This is weird. Like, truth be told, all wide receivers, if you look at when they don't get paid, they do the same thing. Truth be told, this is still mild compared to what other people do. To be real with you.
It is.
It's mild.
Exactly.
It is, but I think there is some point to what Taj is saying, though. You can pick your days. The greatest receiver of all time in Washington, in my opinion, is Art Monk, right? I mean, when you talk about a guy who is kind of like Terry McLaurin, didn't say much, who was classy, did everything the right way, right? The day that you want to comment or the day that you want to make a comment, the day they retire in his jersey, like, you could have waited a minute. You could have waited till today. You could have don't use the moment.
Would it have had the impact if he'd have done that?
That's what I'm saying.
Would it have
There
had
you
the
go.
impact
That's
that
what
if
I'm
he'd have
saying.
done that?
But that's my point, George. It was intentionally done for the shock moment of what the day was.
Yeah, but it's business. As I'm saying, like we don't get mad. This is my point. Like it's all he's talking to his agent. He knows what he's doing. That's what I'm saying. Like he knows what he's doing. And to my point, again, other dudes do much worse things. Other receivers have done much worse things. Like it's not we like that's the problem. This is one thing about our market, which I kind of like feel like as fans, like this market is fans, like we dramatize everything. Like we do, like, and I'm putting myself included because I'm a Commanders fan, so we dramatize everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at the outside, we look at another team, we'd be like, this ain't nothing compared to what like so and so have done, like how they complain. Like we can go to a list of quarterbacks who've been fighting for deals, and we could be like, yo, he said this. Dude, look at T. Higgins was saying wild stuff.
Oh, Trey Hendrickson was saying wild stuff.
Yeah, like what are we doing? Like these dudes.
Brandon Ayuk said he was going to be a Washington Commander.
Yeah, like come on, man. Like what are we doing here? Like that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We doing here. Like that's my point. Like what are we doing here? Like,
but I gotta agree with Taj, and he says this, and I mean Taj.
Taj on my list, man. Don't worry. Don't be agreeing with Taj.
No. We on the same level. Really, me and Taj bump heads, but tonight, me and Taj. Look, tonight I'm clicking with the chat, and me and Mike was on the same page. Now me and Taj. Hey, business is business, right? So if it's business, why are we mad at our GMs for being a GM? Fans are crashing out when they're all part of.
I ain't mad. Look, I ain't mad at neither. See, this is the difference between everybody. I ain't mad at neither. Because I know it's the game. They all playing the game. That's why I ain't mad at neither.
And he said, I'm not mad either. So both sides riding blindly for Terry saying pay him whatever he wants is wrong.
Look, hey, Taj, man, I see you. I see you, Taj. Hey, Taj, when my man when he gets signed, because he will get signed. He will get signed. And when he signs and he has another great year, I don't want you to say nothing.
But it's all
Hey, Glenn, not you, Glenn. Hey, Glenn, not you, Todd. I'm talking to Todd. I don't want you to say nothing. I want you to say that he's 30 years old and he deserves this amount of money. That's all I want you to say. I want you look. Every touchdown he get, I'm gonna repeat the same thing. Cause Todd, I love you because you always support. So every time I see you in the chat, I'll be like, Todd, he's 30 years old.
So we put you full screen every time you score a touchdown.
Every time, full screen. Every time Terry get a touchdown, full screen.
Full screen.
Don't get 2 touchdowns. It's gonna be bang. I'm telling you, I am petty. I am a horrible person. I am a horrible person in life. I'm gonna be so petty. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. And Taj, if I'm looking wrong, I'm not gonna have you on the show. So I'm just letting you know I'm that dirty.
So you won't can dish it out, but he can't take it.
We're here for me to be right. We're here for me to be right. We're not here for me to be right.
Let's get some other people comments in real quick. Hey, Von Negro Jones says Terry will be extended by Sunday, July 20th. # word.
Let it be so.
I'm with you,
Speaking
man.
into existence.
I'm with you, man.
Hey, Roy J406 says this. Y'all remember when
everyone Roy? Appreciate you, bro.
Thought KC lost their mind with a 10-year, $300 million deal. They got Mahomes for peanuts. You look at Mahomes for peanuts these days.
Yeah, that deal is the steal of the century now.
Right.
You see Brock Purdy get paid that kind of money.
I didn't need to lock Terry up for 6 years at market right now.
Not 6.
I don't know what 6. At the 6,
he did get 3 years. It's a 3 years. I go like I'm a realist though. Like I feel like he can get a 3-year with a 4-year option because I just feel like 33, 34 is when receivers tend to kind of go on the wayside. So I'm cool.
So do we think is it the years or the guaranteed money that's the hang up here? Where is the gap?
If I'm Terry, I would want
guaranteed money.
I want guaranteed money. I would try to get the guarantee, but I would look for a number. Like if I'm Terry, like I'm 32, I do 33 to 34. I feel like that would be my number for Terry, but I mean 35 is kind of pushing it. I ain't gonna lie. But 33, 34. I mean, I'm in that price range. That's what I'd be. 35 be pushing it, but 33, 34 for 3 years would be good for me. Like that's what I would look for if I was Terry.
I mean, but does he instead of 3 years want 4 as a?
I hope not. I would hope not. Because if I'm the Commanders, I'm gonna be real. Like I'll be like, if I'm Adam Peters, I'll kind of fight that because I just feel like that's more like if I was gonna do it, I would do like I think for both parties, I would have an option for it. That's how I would like I have an option for it. It'd be a team option too, because if it's a team option, I feel like then it could play in a way where if Terry's Terry, then he's good. They're going like if he's still playing good ball at 33, they're going to definitely want to re-up with him. You know what I'm saying? So see what I'm saying? Look, man, see the Lake. See what did Lake say? Let me see this. What did my man Lake say about Terry though? Because Terry Lake was geeking on my man Terry. Then I love Lake. That's my guy, but he's geeking on my man Terry. I had to get him on that too. You know what I'm saying? I got receipts for everybody. I don't be caring. You know what I'm saying? I got look, I would have secrets for my brother and my family. I have receipts, you know what I'm saying?
Only way JD5 gets 700 million, we gotta win Super Bowl.
Who's 37 mil? 37 mil compared to who? What wide receivers getting 37 mil?
I mean, it's Chase, Jefferson, Tyreek Hill.
I said that like he's not in 37 mil. Like I'm not. No one's. I don't think even Terry's asking for 37 for real. To be real with you, like I don't think he's that 37 mil. Come on, y'all. Like stop.
Paul, I got you.
Actually, I'm glad. You know what? That's a good. Wole, that's a great point because that's the other thing. When Terry McLaurin, the main thrust of his of the talk he gave about this was the lack of contact or negotiation between the two. Yeah. He didn't talk numbers. He didn't say, "Well, I want this," and they're offering that. He didn't air any dirty laundry here, and that is one thing. What's been good about this is that both sides have kept their lips closed, and we don't know the specifics of what's been offered and what's been counter-offered and all that. And they haven't aired that stuff out in public, which with previous regimes, we know that would have been all over the airwaves.
It's all the work, man.
I like this deal. See, this is like a deal. I do like 3 years.
Yes.
I do like this.
Yes to that right there.
That's a deal I kind of like. That's a deal I like.
I could deal with that deal. Could deal with that. I'm not mad at it. I think the organization is gonna do what's best for.
I mean, look, man, they should look, man. They could do it. They keep signing 1 year deals, dog. I don't even know why we keep acting like this. They can't do it. Like it's 1 year deals. They be signing folks for it. They don't marry them. They're not married to anybody on this team. He gonna get, dude. He's getting more than 3. And I ain't gonna lie, he getting more than 32 and a half, bro. I think you kind of like you're like in love with that number too much. He's
getting 33, 34.
Yeah, dude. Like that's not the number he's gonna get.
I
think he'll get. I do think he'll get 103. I don't know if it's going to be all guaranteed, but I think he'll get 103. Okay. I think that's a number I kind of think that's the number he wants, though. For some strange reason, that number sticks out to me.
So Mike asked a question. I want to go back to Mike's question because it goes to which players need to step up on both sides of the ball. We talked about the top 5 we need. Which players need to step up on this side of the ball? It could be it could be Von Miller coming in. It could be B-Rob. From your eyes, from your standpoint, players that are here currently, because I got another question later on. What players need to step up on both sides of the ball? Not the top 5, not your top guys, but those that,
Hold on. Let me see this real quick. Hey, we definitely keep. Hey, Paul, where's Paul, man? Paul, we definitely keeping receipts, dog. I ain't gonna hold you. Don't cheer for this dude when we sign him, dog. I'm not gonna lie to you. When we get that number, don't cheer for him. Because I don't want to say Terry like that. I don't want you to say none of that. I want silence. I want silence. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you the way. But Paul, you know what? You consistent though, because you've always kind of been dirty with Terry. You just play it off once you start playing well. You've been kind of dirty. I ain't gonna lie. You've been kind of doing nasty work with Terry. All right, Glenn. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Glenn. I just wanted to make sure I had to address that. Go ahead, Glenn. I'm sorry.
Now, those B-roll players, those guys who are not the top players, who need to step up on both sides of the ball.
It's cool. All right. So I think off the rip, for real, Von gonna have to step up, man, because I do not like the pass rush. Other than him, you know what I'm saying? Like I do not like the pass rush. So I think to what you're saying, I think Von's gonna have to step up. But you know what? Let me be real. Like it's not fair to Von, man. He's an aging dude. Who want Payne? Payne got to step up. That's the one. Payne on the defense has to step up. He has to play like a top 5 D tackle. Like that's it. A top 5 D tackle. He's gonna have to live up. There's no safety net with Jonathan Allen. There's nobody else to blame other than like John Allen was always that dude you can blame, right? Beside him, you be like John Allen, he can play. Now the focus is on you. There's no Bama Wall. You are the Wall. You are the Wall. So yeah, like I think he needs to step. I think that he needs to step up on the other side because I think it's what we saw with the Eagles, what they did to us with their defensive line. Yeah, Tunsil got to be him. Like he got to be him. He's gonna have to play at a high level because we don't need any regression. He needs to be what he was. I think that's essential because, you know, Jaden with time in the pocket could be a dangerous thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like I always talk about how when you look at Jalen Hurts, like how much time he has in the pocket. That's like how much time he has in the pocket. That's why he's able to find certain dudes open because he don't have to throw people open because these dudes can, by the time, you know, the route progresses or works out, he has so much time to find a wide open dude. So I feel like Jayden, you get Jayden that type of O line, and I mean with especially having a left tackle, always the left tackle anchors all that. I think the offense will go above and beyond what we think.
Got you. Real quick, some guys in the chat says this. Deluxe says whoever's playing right guard to start the season, it needs to be that guy.
Good point. Absolutely.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Deluxe, man. I like that.
Right.
I like that too.
My man Paul says Ben Stennett and any safety has to step up.
I mean, Mark gonna be all right, bro. I like Mark. I think Mark gonna be all right.
All right.
Yeah.
My man Vaughn Negro Jones said McCaffrey needs to show up and step up.
You already know how I feel about that kid. But it's okay. I'm not gonna say. I ain't gonna say anything.
I think there's something to that.
No, he's right.
Ben Coleman and whoever starts as strong safety.
Yeah. Why y'all be saying Terry? Because I know he'd be all right. That's right. I see y'all too.
Hey, you know,
I see y'all too.
I'll say this.
I like messing with them.
Who needs to step up? And we brought him in. And a lot of you guys had him on his top 5. I'm really, and Wole, you went on a rant earlier. Lattimore really needs to step up. Well, he needs
facts. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
The fact is, he really needs to step up, or he needs to go. All the antics, the nonsense. I know your hamstring was hurt last year, and I don't mean step up in step up in big time games, prime time games.
Well, and I think he needs to step up. Period.
Yeah.
Who a Drake fan? Nah, man, I'm a Kendrick fan. I don't like Drake. I ain't light skinned. What's wrong with you?
Let me start. Let me start on the defensive end. I'm gonna go to the same area as Wole, but I'm gonna go to a different player. I'm gonna go to Johnny Newton because he's had a full preseason.
That's a good one too.
He's got much better health. You saw how hyped Wole and I were about Johnny Newton last year when they drafted him.
Mm-hmm. Got
to start to see it from him this year, and I think we will. I'm confident that he's going to step up, but we need him because we need a wrecking ball defensive tackle that's going to put a few of those guards, or centers, especially those ones in Philadelphia, on their keister and then go get the running back and put him on his keister.
Mm-hmm.
And then Paul took one of the one I was going to say on offense, Ben Sinnott. I am totally with Paul on this. We've asked a lot of Zach Ertz, and it was something else what he produced last year at 36 or 37 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But at his age, we're going to need another tight. We're going to need another tight end to sort of emerge here, especially if we play a lot of 2 tight end sets, which I think we're going to see from Cliff quite a bit this year. Ben Sinnott got to step up, got to start producing, got to get him the ball some.
Y'all, I don't even know how much that dude gonna play.
I got one.
Interesting. It's interesting about that.
I got one more real quick.
Go ahead.
Joe Witt need to step up.
Yes.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's like, hey, you ain't saying nothing but a word to me, buddy.
Glen's been insisting on that from day one. You're right, Glenn.
I've been on you. I know I've
been ticking on him.
I say it's gonna be click. They ain't ticking on him, but I've been on that board. I've been on that.
Oh no, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I like that one because then you know what? Because there's been a lot of talk. I mean, he's been doing a lot of talking. So it's like it's time to let's see. You know what I mean? Like, everybody does. You don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, you talk a lot. Yeah, and this is the thing though, Glenn. Like he may not even have all the pieces, but the thing is that you talk like you don't need all the pieces though. That's my thing. You talk like you can make it work without all the pieces, right? Like now you got pieces, like to me, if you're one of them in terms of defense, if you're one of them in terms of defensive coordinators, like you're set up to be a decent. I think you have pieces in the secondary. Like I think Trey Amos is going to be good. I think Lattimore is going to be up to be have a great year. At the end of the day, Lattimore in this league has had so much success. He's one of the best cornerbacks in football. So even if he lost a step or two, you still got a quality cornerback, right? We saw what Mikey's doing, last year as a rookie. So, dude, you should be all right in the secondary. You say your pass rush. You say you got Payne, who's played at a high level in the past. You got Von Miller, Hall of Famer. Like even though I think again he's a third down, whatever guy. George, you like Drazon Newton. You like Drazon Newton. I like Johnny. I like Johnny too. So I think Glen likes Johnny as well. I think Johnny has a lot of potential to be an All-Pro caliber defensive tackle. I believe that. I do. So you got talent, right, dude? It's here. It's there enough to be. Is there enough to be at least top 10? Or if you're a really good defense, if he's a really good defensive coordinator, he'll be top 10. That's what I'll say.
I'm gonna answer Roy's question. And Paul, I think if Washington has a somewhat losing, if they go halfway point, they're 5-5 or 5-6, you'll see DQ take over. Oh,
I don't think it'll be that long. I think if this team's giving up, let's say this team gives up a lot of yards to the Giants in week 1. Neighbors goes crazy again, and we only barely scrape by. Man, it could be inside of a month and a half. Because everybody's looking at this team and assuming that this offense is going to score like crazy. Yeah. And that this defense is going to be what holds this team back, if anything holds this team back. I don't think it'll be long, Paul. I don't think it'll be long at all. If this defense struggles, you could see DQ taking over the play calling end of the first month, early in October. I don't think it'll be as long as what Glenn says.
I think it'll be long. I agree with Glenn because I think that there's too much. Like that's not how this. If you look at this regime in terms of this trust they have with their coaches, I don't think that's they're very loyal to their coaching staff. Like Dan Quinn's a very loyal dude. What I heard, like his coaching staff, he's not gonna.
Can we
and there's no
Rory's
pressure.
Point because Rory makes an interesting point here.
Go ahead,
I'm not sure I agree with it, but he makes an interesting point.
What point? Which did Rory put out there? The defense. This right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't.
He doesn't have. He said. Rory says he doesn't have half of what he needs. Our D is suspect. Last year, I would have totally agreed with that statement, 100%.
No,
and I would. And
well,
I gave him a pass last year on Joe Witt.
Yeah.
Now there's been significant talent added to this defense.
Oh no, I'm gonna ask this because I understand where he's coming from. I'm not gonna what position? What are you having? What positions are you having issues with? I think that's the fairest thing to say before we say that. I think Roy, depending on what he thinks, because I told y'all, arguably, I don't know if it's a come up. Because again, you got Kinlaw and whatever, and you lost a better D tackle. I think you got better at edge rusher. Don't be real. I think you got better at edge rusher because I don't have that much respect for Fowler. I don't. I mean, no disrespect for Fowler, but I just don't know Fowler.
We talked about it.
You drafted a rookie in Trey Amos, but again, he's a rookie, so we still got to see how he plays the NFL game. We drafted rookies before. We got to see how he plays. We just assume that he's gonna be a baller. So we got to see how it all. We assume that I like Jordan McGee personally, but I haven't seen him get substantial time out there to say he's going to be what I think he's going to be. You know what I'm saying?
It should be healthy. It should be healthy.
Yeah, it should be healthy. So like even as much as I like Javon, like it's not like Javon took over as a rookie. I expect him to be better though. I do expect him to be better. Okay, here we go. Here's his list. All right. So like he's got question marks. Basically, go ahead, Glenn, I'm sorry. You put left one. All right, it's fair. It's question marks. They're all question marks. Yeah, they're not givens. I get it. I mean, I think the cornerback plays will be better though. I like Lattimore and Mikey. You know what I mean? I feel like the defensive backs will be okay.
I mean,
but D tackle is a question mark. I'm not gonna hold you. It's a question mark.
Mm-hmm. It is, but Kinlaw was a significant signing. I know.
Is he an upgrade? Is he upgrade though? Is he upgrade though?
He's not an upgrade, but again, I'm Adam Peters is betting that in this system he's going to do better than he did in San Francisco.
And the Jets,
And again,
it's two situations though. That's what I'm saying, George. You're saying once he went to two different places, not just San Fran. Kinlaw has been bad in two places.
But you've got Kinlaw was brought in here, who we didn't have at the start of free agency. Lattimore was traded for. We didn't have him at the start of last year.
Yeah, like Lattimore.
Amos is a big draft pick.
Yep.
That we all are looking at and saying this guy's definitely going to play a lot and could even be one of the top corners by the end of the season.
Possibly.
We've added talent. Is it enough, Rory? No, it's not, because you can't fix a roster in two drafts and 2 off seasons.
Yeah.
You're right about that, but I'm not sure Joe Witt gets a pass this year. It's not last year when we were really dealing
I got
with because that's the thing. I gave Joe Witt a pass last year, and I might have been the only one in this panel, it sounds like, did that. Because we didn't have the talent. We clearly didn't have the talent, and we knew that. Yeah. And we were trying to do it with duct tape and glue and whatever.
Yeah.
And we got out of it what we got out of it. We all know what happened in the championship game. The less said about it, the better. But I think this year that excuse is not gonna play in Peoria like it did last year. Right. At least not with me. It's not.
Two things. Santiago said this. We got Harris. Harris is new. Haven't talked about him that much.
Another good one, Santiago. Good point.
So that's a good point there, Santiago. We haven't talked about Harris.
You mean the safety?
Yeah, I know you're not high on him. I know.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, Roy. I understand where you're coming from. I'm not like I think Lattimore gonna ball out though. That's the only one I kind of differ with you. But everybody else, I dig what you're talking about, Roy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like we are kind of like close. We're close. Go ahead, Glenn.
Real quick question. I know, and I cut you off. Is Kinlaw the reason Kinlaw went to the Jets? Was it because of Saleh? Was Saleh the defensive coordinator?
Nah. What happened was he wasn't panning out with San Fran. He was supposed to replace who was old boy? I keep forgetting this. Who was the coach? They traded Buckner. Buckner is the other one. Naeem Buckner is another one.
Okay.
It's the other kid. There's another kid, light skinned kid. I keep getting his name. I keep scrolling because I know it's right there. But anyway, he didn't pan out.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, they traded him because Saleh did they just traded him. They traded him. It wasn't like they want. It wasn't like he was. Oh, we need to get him. It was like we just need. He's not working out.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct, Paul. That is the main thing this year.
Yeah, that too. I agree with you, Paul. I agree with that. What's his name? He had I'm not to be funny. He had this dude had a white girlfriend.
Fine. Deluxe prediction that Owens plays some of the chin role while Harris takes more of the Percy role. Sorry if I'm broken record on that.
Deluxe. That's a great comment because Owens is a wild card in that secondary because
if they play
we've seen him in the doggone special teams, and he is a hit stick guy and a potential tone setter. And a lot of people, I think, are calling for him to play more in the defensive backfield, and he could be the wild card in the deck of cards here for Washington. I think we don't know what he's capable of.
See, my thing about him is that everyone hopes he plays. I don't know if he's going to play like that. You know what I mean? Like I hope he does play. Like I'm just like everybody else. I'm a fan of him. Like I want him to play. Like I think he'll be productive. But I don't know. But we don't know if he's going to play. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know because there's other guys ahead of him on the depth chart.
And but I mean, next week when pads go on and everything else, next week training camp, you'll find out. Yeah, because again, guys move around. You see who's good, who's a ball hawk.
Yeah, I was thinking about Armstead. That's why they Armstead.
Okay.
That's the guy I'm thinking of for the Niners. Armstead. That's what it was. I was like, I don't know.
Got you.
Yeah. So it was like they were hoping he would replace him. He didn't. But yeah, I'm with. Go ahead, Glenn. Go.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm with I like Owens. I think Owens. I mean, it wouldn't just be Owens. I want Reeves to get an opportunity too, man. I think Reeves plays the safety position better than a lot of the Commander players. Other safeties other than Quan Martin. I think Reeves plays safety pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Joe Kelly said, "Hope Owens plays more, but I suspect the coach and owners value experience. The rest of the defense is older for a reason."
Yeah, I agree with that.
And that's right, Joe Kelly. But I'll say this: if this defense is struggling, they should not be afraid to change the lineup and bring players in. And I think that's my one big criticism of this coaching staff is that they didn't do that when certain people were struggling last year. They better not be afraid to bring a guy like Owens in if for whatever reason the other safeties are not pulling their weight back there.
I'm with you, bro. All pro Revo, exactly, man. Man, play on man Revo, man. Keep telling me. Man, I like just go. Reeves or Percy get more snaps on defense. I think Reeves should get more snaps than Percy. I know that much. That I'll say. I don't know if he will, but I think he should. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was. Our defense was like Roy. I didn't like the way our defense played the run. That was my big issue. I thought we was trash against the run. That was my big issue. Now if they fix that, then I think they can definitely be a better defense. I just felt like we saw it, man. Like we saw it in the postseason. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what happened, we saw it in the postseason. Tampa was able to run against us. The Lions were run. Good God, Gibbs can do whatever he wanted to. Thank you, Ben Johnson, for taking the ball out of his hands. And then we saw Saquon. Saquon was like a video game. He just first touch took it to the house or something. It's crazy. So, in my opinion, you stop the run. Our defense is better. It's just it won't be as bad. But and I'm not saying you got to be like the Baltimore Ravens in 2000 or something, like stopping everything, you know what I mean? Or like Tampa's defense back, when Warren Sapp and company. But I'm just saying, just be decent against the run. Just be decent. Just don't have old school Madden video game numbers as a running back against us. That's all I'm talking about.
Ain't no Bo Jackson.
Tecmo, you know what I'm saying? Tecmo Bowl looking like Tecmo Bowl. Saquon was looking like Bo Jackson on Tecmo Bowl. That thing, the way he how it was too easy. There's levels of it. Don't make it too easy. That's all. He's already a great back, but don't make it too easy. You know what I'm saying? You saw, even though they beat Kansas City quite handily in the Super Bowl, but you saw they were we taking Saquon away, something like that. Don't or close to that. Not even that completely, just close to that.
It wouldn't be a show if we had these letters come up. So
I know it always comes up, dog. Yeah, I forward this on. Yeah, run was the problem.
He's in the Voldemort category. He should not be named anymore. Now that he's not here.
Actually, I like naming him because he was trash. He's so many laughs we have from PSJ. Why do we want to not talk about it? The last
I don't want because I just don't even want to think about his time here.
Wegman,
darn. You know what happened today? Mike Williams retired, and one of the guys I follow put up that damn play against Washington. The only play he ever made. Oh,
Mike Williams retired? He retired?
Mike Williams retired today. And this guy, if I was a Steeler fans, said thanks for the memories, and he puts up that play of him burning that guy. He should not be named. Oh, no. And I was mad all again.
Look, man, look, you know why he needs to be mentioned? Because there's going to be days when we get to see that man on the football field. There's going to be a day when we get to see him, and I'm going to be like,
oh, God, seriously.
So you don't
think. Are you sure it's not for against the DC Defenders or something? Or in Canada?
He's on the team.
Yeah, that ain't going to last.
Is he with the Chargers? Ain't with the Chargers?
Yeah, surely that man is not going to be in the dadgum NFL after training camp this year.
Man. I can't wait. They play him. Saquon is different with Devontae. I know. I'm just saying, Kansas. I'm just saying, be with the Chargers. I'm just saying, there's levels. I'm just saying, don't make it Bo Jackson easy. That's all I'm saying. I ain't say you got stop Saquon. Look, there's running backs in this league. I'm not we're going to stop. You know what I mean? Saquon
should have been the MVP last year.
To me, Jonathan. Kansas City. What's not Kansas City? For the Colts. Jonathan. Who went to Wisconsin? Jonathan. Why am I having?
You talking about the Colts running back Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor. Thank you. Jonathan Taylor to me is one of them. There are certain running backs that I put in the higher, Derrick Henry, one of those running backs. B. John Robinson, one of those running backs. They're guys that I'm it's hit or miss. it ain't like stopping them isn't that's not a thing. You know what I mean? Like containing them is a thing, and you like game plan for it. But so to that, I don't ever like I'm Saquon on that list. So I'm just saying, but there's ways to like look effective. Sometimes you don't make it too easy. Like what he was doing last year to Washington was too easy.
It was easy.
Like what Jahmyr Gibbs was doing to us was too easy. Like you don't have to be I feel like you ain't got to be a stone cold football fanatic to see what like Jahmyr Gibbs was way too easy.
All you had to do was watch the game.
Too easy. Like that was like exactly for real. Just watch the game. It was way too easy. There's talent problems, and there's certain things schematically. There things are just too easy. That was too easy.
Hey, fellas, I think the show was dope. Been here for about hour 30, man. Give us your final thoughts on the Von Miller signing and any final thoughts on Terry McLaurin. Go ahead, Wole.
Oh, man. First off, man, I think, like, that signing was good. And I feel like that signing is good and team-friendly that you can probably fool around and try to get another bargain edge rusher if you wanted to. Like, I feel like it's not even over. Like, if they wanted to, say, get, like, a Clowney and bring him in, they still got money to do that. Like, because, again, Von Miller he's a rotational guy right now in his career. So you get a bunch of other rotational guys, like, make yourself more deep in terms of pass rush situation on third down to go rush the quarterback. You can do that. So it's not like this signing doesn't like end it all. Like it doesn't say like, oh, we got an edge rusher, we're done. We can still get more. So that's what makes it dope about it. And it's an upgrade. Like that's the most important thing. It's an upgrade from Fowler. I'm sorry, folks who like Fowler. It's an upgrade. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And in terms of Terry, man, like everybody pump your brakes. Stop like being dramatic about the situation. Like stop turning your back on this dude. Like acting like y'all forgot what he's done for this organization. And like last year, we'll go as recent as last year. And you saw what he can do with a top tier quarterback. And he made a young quarterback life easier once he got the ball. You know what I mean? Like he made a bunch of plays for his young quarterback. You know what I mean? It's not like everything was ideal. He made plays for his young quarterback. So I just feel like, everybody can chill out. We'll be good. We okay. We'll say this is negotiation. This happens. It's happening with a lot of great wide receivers. So it's happening with Terry. So that's what it is.
George, final thoughts on Von Miller and Terry.
Von Miller is a championship statement of intent. He's a Super Bowl MVP and a defensive one. And I'll just go back to what I said at the start. The idea that anybody would sign with Washington to win a championship would have been laughed out of the NFL the last 25 years. Thanks. And that's what he's doing. Right. And to make a statement like that, you've got to turn around and get this deal done with Terry McLaurin because you don't want anything to sabotage what could be the greatest season in this town by this football team since we were all kids. Because that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. It's been 34 years now since this team won the Super Bowl, and this is the best chance they've had since then to win the Super Bowl. Maybe 99 might be the only year that you could have realistically thought it was possible. This is now, and then of course last year came out of nowhere. Nobody was talking Super Bowl until they got to the championship game. So let's continue to change this culture. Let's continue to give Jaden everything he needs because he can make all our dreams come true.
I got you, man. Final thoughts on Von Miller. Great to see him be a Commander. Good to see him and Bobby Wagner be able to play together. Good to see him be able to help enhance the young guys. So this team, when they ride off into the sunset, guys can step in and try to fill those shoes, which no one can fill. With Terry McLaurin, I mean, it's business, right? It's business. My hopes is this, that when business is all said and done, when everything is signed, Terry can forget about how he felt during the offseason and go play football. Don't let the feelings linger. Go do your job and let everything else work its way out. So it's going to get done. Those are my thoughts. But for you guys, man, hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Gold. Also tweet us at ABG_Errrything. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at ABG_Errrything. Make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold Everything YouTube channel. and also like and share this video. Fellas, the show's been dope. The chat been jumping, guys. We appreciate the interaction, and we appreciate it. We'll have more for you next week. Might have some updates for you, but we definitely gonna talk Commanders football. Guess what? Football season is here, ladies and gentlemen. Football season here. Hey, ladies, good night, and we are out.